Hey guys, this is Fly High, and today I'm going to be educating you on Spacex Starship. And right here, I 3D printed this big Starship here. Look how large this thing is. Look, see, this is my arms, and look, it's almost as wide as my arms. And this part right here is Starship. This part is super heavy. And right in here, this is Starship SN20. This is the first Starship to receive 6 engines. The previous Starships only had these small Raptor engines, but the new Starship has 6. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the first Starship to have a heat shield, and this is the super heavy that has the first 29 Raptor engines right here. And this is 230 feet in height. And this is 164 feet in height too. So together this rocket is 390 feet tall. 30 feet taller than the Saturn NASA Space Launch System Block 1B. We got the SpaceX Starship. And we have over here NASA Apollo SpaceX Starship right here. We got most of my airplanes are heavy, so we got an A330neo, Boeing 777, and private jet. We got a 747, 777, and a British Airways airplane. We got a Ferrari. We got an Airbus A320 up here. We got and we got a Lamborghini Aventador back there. We got a Chevy Camaro, a Legion A321. We got a 787 over here. We got a Fortnite up there, and we got a rocket picture.
All right.
My name is Jax when it comes to videos.
Okay. All right, Jack. So how tall is this Starship?
390 feet tall.
390 feet tall.
Yep. 30 feet taller than the NASA Saturn V.
Okay. So is this like the biggest rocket they have
Yes.
going? Yeah.
This is the biggest rocket in the world.
Wow.
That's currently running right now.
That's amazing. So is it finished yet, or is it still in development?
It's still in developing. They constructed this. They built a launch pad, a launch mount for this big Starship.
Okay. So they built the launch pad already, but they're still developing the rocket?
They're still doing some testing with this. Hopefully in February or March 2020 of this year, they hopefully to get this Starship up in orbit.
Okay.
They're going to do a 15-kilometer test. They're going to launch it, fly it into space for maybe a few hours, and then they're going to bring it back down and land in Hawaii in the water.
Oh,
they're
cool.
do a belly flop maneuver.
A little belly flop?
This is what Starship does when it's like a belly flop, and then it's going to do this into the water, and then into the water, then it's going to
pretty cool.
Belly flop onto the water.
So you said February, March? That's
February or March.
All right, so be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, be on the lookout for that.
Let's see, what other questions? About how powerful is this thing?
This thing delivers about 18 million pounds of thrust. Over here, these are 29 Raptor engines, and these engines can provide 18 million pounds of thrust. So that is basically 18 Airbus A380s going through those engines.
Oh, wow.
That's thrust, that's how many pounds this can provide.
That is amazing.
And if everyone is familiar about the A380, the fully loaded weight is 1,200,000 pounds. And that's basically 18 Airbus A380s put together, smashing into the ground with the fire.
Wow. So that is quite powerful,
Yes.
to say the least.
And SpaceX has done some SpaceX in development. There's all different types of the Starship. I'm just covering this one.
Okay.
There's a Starship that provides mission to space with this behemoth, 390-foot behemoth, super heavy.
Wow. And
So-
do you know how long they've been working on this?
They've been working on it for like 2.5 years. These are heat tiles from the space shuttle on the previous space shuttle they had the heat tiles. These are called thermo heat tiles, and on the belly of the ship they had thermo heat tiles to withstand re-entry.
Cool, cool. So when this thing takes off, this is just the bottom part and it breaks apart?
Yes, when it gets to a certain altitude, this thing comes apart, and then this part comes back to Earth, and then it lands one.
Mm-hmm.
I personally like the prototypes better than this.
Yeah.
And I feel like the prototypes look more futuristic.
Yeah, yeah, a little more sleek.
A little more sleek looking.
Yeah.
And these test to see how it does on landing.
Okay.
So moving on to the Q&A. For the Starship education video, and bye and fly.